Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip, and you are a Toddy One Skipper by proxy. Guys, how you doing? Please like, subscribe, and share. Christmas is over, and now we got New Year's. Guys, today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guess what we're going to do? Continue to read the fictionalized, actual exploitations of the one and only Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Guys, I was trying to see, what does Wikipedia have to say about our friend Gypsy Ahoy? Let me tell you. Gypsy Ahoy Rose Alcida Blanchard, formerly Anderson, born July 27, 1991, is an American convicted MURDER. She rose to worldwide prominence when she was convicted of second-degree MURDER in Springfield, Missouri for the DEATH of her mom, Dee Dee Blanchard, who she claims subjected her lifelong physical, mental, and medical abuse. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison. I like how it says that she claims instead of that it's all true. Guys, I can't remember if it was Trixie Lane or 1980 Millennial. I want to say it was Trixie Lane that kind of verified that story that crafts and cats and crafts, or crafts and cats, or the woman that worked for Habitat for Humanity said about Gypsy pulling her daughter's hair. That's been verified because Trixie had heard that. She heard that during the time because, her family's from there. Or is it might be 1980. It's one of the girls, 1980 Millennial or Trixie Lane. One of them definitely verified that they had heard that story before. Not necessarily that it was this child and this mother, but it was definitely that story that she had heard before. And the fact that everybody knew that Gypsy could walk around and even dance and do the jig. A little jig here, a little jig there. But it never surfaced enough for people to say, can we get the house back? Can we get the trips back? No more trips for Gypsy Ahoy! How come that was never squashed when they started hearing things, or they started seeing Gypsy, walking? When they knew that they were taken for a ride, how come they didn't say, hold the phones? Let's go back and give us some of the money back. Now, supposedly they were on their case, and there was speculation that they were going to be brought to justice until, you know what happened, right? But let's continue on with what Wikipedia says. She was paroled after 8 years near the end of December 2023. Given the sensational aspects of Gypsy's childhood, including her mom forcing her to pretend to be disabled and terminally ill, she gained widespread media attention. Hulu produced a limited series, The Act, in 2019, released while she was still in prison. She has been featured on interviews on a variety of TV shows, such as Dr. Phil, who should be... he doesn't really have a valid license anymore. Take doctor away from his name. And other programs have been based on her story. In 2024, her own reality show, Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup, premiered on Lifetime. Blanchard was hatched July 27, 1991, to 24-year-old Claudine Dee Dee Blanchard and 18-year-old Rod Blanchard. Her mom first began asserting that Gypsy Rose had an array of different health issues from infancy. Initially, her mom told her that she had muscular dystrophy and needed a walker. This is hearsay. Why is it in Wikipedia? Wikipedia! When she was around 7 or 8 years old, she was involved in a minor motorcycle accident with her grandpa, during which she sustained a minor knee abrasion. After this, Dee Dee told her that she needed a wheelchair. Well, who is really saying that this is true? She was in a wheelchair. Was Dee Dee... of course, Dee Dee was perpetuating this grift, as we know. And also, was she afraid? There's mental illness going there. And there's plenty of people that said after Dee Dee's mom passed, Dee Dee went kaput out the window with her head. but not Munchausen syndrome. She never had Munchausen syndrome because she wasn't doing anything to hurt her daughter. It was a grift. They were both in on it. Gypsy Ahoy, too. After Hurricane Katrina destroyed their Louisiana home, Dee Dee and Gypsy Rose lived in a rented home in Aurora in southwestern Missouri. During their time there, Gypsy Rose was honored by the Ole Foundation, which advocates for rights of feeding tube recipients, as its 2007 Child of the Year. Gypsy Ahoy! Congratulations on that! That's a hell of an award. 2007 Feeding Tube Child of the Year. The 2007, the whole time Gypsy knew she did not need the feeding tube and knew she could walk, but continued the charade out of fear of her mom. That part's not true. Erase that. In 2008, Habitat for Humanity built them a small home after Gypsy went ahead and assaulted a daughter there and pulling the hair. That's not written, but we're adding it. And so a small home with a wheelchair ramp and hot tub is part of a larger project on the north side of Springfield. To the east, and the two moved there. The story of a single mom with a severely disabled daughter forced to flee Katrina's devastation received considerable local media attention, and the community often pitched in to help the woman who went by Claudina Blanchard, and whom they knew as Dee Dee. Day. She went by Claudina, but her name was Claudine. That might have had something to do with the grift. Many people who met Gypsy Rose were charmed by her, except for the girl that she pulled her hair, and the other one that she wanted to push the eyes in the back of the head. Besides that, maybe the adults were charmed by her, but not her mom. The adults might have been charmed by her. The children, petrified! It's alleged, but I'm saying, come, tell us about the pulling of the hair and the pushing in the eyes in the back of the head. Oh my! Okay, so, here we go. Her 4-foot, 11-inch frame and nearly toothless mouth, large glasses, and a high childlike voice reinforced the perception that she had all the problems that her mom claimed she had. Dee Dee regularly shaved Gypsy's head to mimic the hairless appearance of chemotherapy patients, or the fact that Gypsy was a dirty, slovenly pig and might have had a lice problem. Alleged, but I'm saying it. I never heard the lice thing, but I thought I'd throw it in there, just like everything she's thrown in her fucking book. Dee Dee regularly shaved her chemotherapy, allegedly telling her that since the medication eventually could cause her hair to fall out, better shaving in advance. Gypsy often wore wigs or hats to cover her baldness when she left the house. Dee Dee often took an oxygen tank and feeding tube with them. Gypsy Rose was fed with children's liquid nutrition supplement Pediasure well into her 20s. Gypsy Ahoy! That's all Gypsy there. In her 20s, and as obese as Dee Dee is, you're doing what you want to do. Come on. Guys, do not pay attention to the guy who came through the wall there. Well, the door. The wall. Guys, seriously, so Gypsy was in fine health. She had relaxed her legs enough that she could have ran a fucking marathon. And Dee Dee was obese. Nobody thought about that? She couldn't just walk away. She could have crawled away. She could have went backwards and walked away, and there was no way that Dee Dee was going to catch her. She could have went in slow motion backwards and walked away. She could have stopped time and still been well ahead of Dee Dee. Come on, man. Supposedly, Dee Dee used physical abuse to control her daughter in the meantime. It probably took a bunch of people to help her out of bed. She was obese. She had cancer, supposedly. For real, though. She had gout. She had diabetes. This woman was struggling. And Dee Dee still managed to, I don't know, P-E-A-T-H-E-L-L out of her daughter, who supposedly pushed her around physically, pushed Dee Dee around, and not in a wheelchair, but physically just ran into a room, pushed Dee Dee over onto a bed. Allegedly, we already know that she ABUSED'd her mom because She came up with the plan to KILL her mom. And she used a BB. And I don't have to spell that, but it's the way it is. GUN on her mom that she thought was real at one point in time. But then 20 pages down the book, knew it was a BB one. What's going on? In Wikipedia, it's got it all wrong. When can we change things? We have to change things, guys. We have to change the narrative. It is the year of the Petrie family, guys. Let's say it the way it happened. Gypsy unalived her mom for the sake of unaliving her mom and trying to play victim. That's what happened there. There was no Munchausen by proxy. There was no Munchausen syndrome. There was a spoiled brat named Gypsy Rose who still walks around this earth thinking she owns it because that's the way the parole board has allowed her to behave. We're going to change that. Let's change the narrative, guys. Let's change it up. This is the year of the Petrie family, guys. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip, guys. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Take care.